This video is brought to you by the Disc Golf Nerd Patreon support team. Go to patreon.com/discgolfnerd. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be showing off a whole bunch of different plastic that I've gotten in over the last few weeks. I thought it would be fun to do another show and tell video and show you guys all these different things that I've gotten recently, just so you know what I'm working with, give you some initial impressions. I actually have been able to throw all of this different stuff, at least a little bit as well, based on a couple of field sessions and stuff that I did the other day, so I'll be able to tack in some throwing footage with a few of these molds as well, so stay tuned for that. Big thank you to everyone for their continued support of the channel. If you like what I do, hit the subscribe button to stay tuned for the full reviews on so many of these different molds going forward, and other videos that we're going to be making out of this plastic, different content we'll be making with these discs. So please hit that subscribe button if you like what I do. Also, easy ways to support the channel: check out my Patreon in the description below, or go to infinitediscs.com, our main retail sponsor. You can use my code DiscGolfNerd at checkout. You'll get 5% off your order, and you'll help kind of support the channel financially that way as well. So definitely check that out. Thanks to everyone for their continued support. I've gotten plastic from a few different folks here. I'll give everybody the appropriate shout outs as we go, and let's get into it. I'm going to try to be quick about this. I don't want to keep you guys here all night, but we do have a lot of plastic to show off. And let's start off here with the Contiki from Infinite Discs. This one, I believe, was just released yesterday as of the time I'm posting this video, so you'll be able to go check those out on Infinite's website. Once again, use my code to check out any of this plastic through Infinite, and you'll get yourself a discount and help support the channel. This is the Contiki from Infinite, and this one is molded by Innova, who makes all of the Infinite Discs molds, and this is a brand new mold. It has a pretty noticeable dome on it for sure. Relatively small, shallow rim on this thing, and it's got a little bead on there as well. And this is a very understable, glidey, slow mid-range. So it's like kind of like a putter mid-range hybrid, I would say, and really easy hyzer flips, easy turnovers for me and my arm speed, but be a really solid beginner disc. Also, with it being so small, could be a good kid's disc. That nice understable flight, good glide on it. Definitely a fun disc to throw. Kind of reminds me of like a little bit like a modern take on like a Stingray kind of vibe to it. Nice flyer though, good easy hyzer flip disc, and again turns over and holds it super easy for me, so check those out. We also have some discs that were sent over through one of my Instagram followers. A kind individual named Brian Lammers sent me both of these. He also sent me, I believe he sent me this Havoc as well, this guy right here, which is super rad. I just have that one hanging out in my stash if I ever need it. This is a Mcrae Opto X fuse that he sent over, and this one went straight in my bag, and I've been throwing it a ton. It is every bit as smooth flying as the standard Optos, but it does seem to handle pop a little more, so I can hit it a little harder, and it'll just hold lines really nice without a slightly less natural flip than a standard Opto or my retro ones. But really, really nice. I kind of stayed away from the Opto X blends for a while because I don't really like them in the drivers that I've tested, but I forgot that I really do like them in mid-ranges. Like, I put my Gold X Ricky Compass back in the bag. I'm throwing it a ton. I'm loving that one. And this thing is similar to that, where it's not like overstable, but it's just a nice, more stable run of the fuse. So not sure how likely it is you're going to find this particular run. These might be tough to find, like so many other discs right now. But yeah, not really that much stiffer than a standard Opto as well, which is another thing I really like. But that one went straight in my bag, throwing it a ton. Definitely holds up to power a little bit better than a standard fuse, I would say, which I really like. This is a classic rock disc I've never tested or really messed around with. It's got a pretty flat top. It is, I have some ink on the bottom, so I don't want to show you too much, but it's got a beaded, kind of slower, mid-range, putter hybrid type vibe to this disc as well, but it is deeper, much more stable than that Contiki I showed you earlier. More stable than I was expecting, to be honest. I haven't thrown it a ton yet. I don't know if I have any footage for you on this one yet either, but I have thrown it a few times, and I dig it. It's a nice, like, driving putter. Just one that he kind of sent along for me to check out. I'm not exactly sure if I'll get around to a full review on that disc or not, but there it is. You never know, I might show it off in one way or another in the future. Moving on. EV7, brand new company, was kind enough to hook me up with some of their new first release, which is the Penrose putter. These, I've heard a lot about these on Instagram and stuff. You've been seeing Drew Gibson putting super well with these so far this season, so I reached out to them and they were kind enough to hook me up with 2 pairs of them. We have the base plastic and then the soft version as well. I've thrown these around a little bit. I've not putted with them very much yet, but they're really nice point and shoot throwers. Maybe a little deep feeling to me. It's hard. I'm so bad at judging that. I'll have to look at the specs or whatever, but I do really like the plastic blends on these. They're super grippy, just tremendous. This one's got a little bit less flexibility overall, but just as much grip. Nice little give under the thumb. Really impressed with the feel of the plastic blends on these. And then the soft is slightly grippier still, which is impressive, and a little bit extra flexibility overall. I like these quite a bit. I think I'm really going to like them when I get around to more putting and approach testing, but we'll see. I've only thrown those a few times. I've thrown this stack, a handful of times, but sometimes I'm shaking the cobwebs off and trying to remember how to throw out there too. So I will tack in a few clips of those. I'm definitely enjoying them so far. Continue to test those a lot more before the review actually comes out, so stay tuned. And our friends at Dynamic Discs hooked us up with some more plastic as well, and these are the Evader. I've tested both of these a little bit, and I like them quite a bit so far, to be honest. 7, 4, 0, and 2.5. The flight numbers on the EV7, if you didn't catch it, are 2402. I'll give you another look at the rim on that. Maybe didn't do the best job of that. Beaded putter, right? Nice, kind of smaller bead for sure. Not like a big bead by any means. A little bit of like flashing right on the point of the bead, but that'll break in pretty quickly once you start using them. 2402, these are 740, 2.5. I would say those are pretty on. These are a little bit less overstable than I was kind of expecting for whatever reason. They are domey, and I don't typically like that, but they feel quite nice in my hand, and I was enjoying throwing them. I like the way they float, and I've never really tested thoroughly in my own bag system a 7-speed driver like this. Nor have I really ever gotten to know a super domey fairway. This thing has quite a substantial dome to it, so I think I'm going to continue to test both of these, not only for the review of course, but for my own bag as well. They definitely merit some more investigation, because I think once I break those in, I think I would really like them based on the initial testing. And I've always wanted to kind of really test a domey disc and see what the benefits are of a disc that will catch more air like that. Okay, we're cruising. This shouldn't be like a super long video. That's great. Next, shout out to my man Max Garcia. Hooked me up with the sweetest of Justices that I've probably ever had. This is the Soft Justice, classic Soft Justice. This thing is super gummy, super floppy. I inked the hell out of the bottom of it because I really don't want somebody to keep it if I lose it. I want them to call me back, so I made it really obnoxious on the bottom with my number and stuff, and I drew some of these squids on here. Anything to do to make somebody hopefully give me a call if they find this thing. It is super flat, like carpentry level flat, if not even slightly concave. But other than that, it's just a Justice. It might actually float a little bit more than the Lucids, but it fades aggressively. It's still super overstable. What surprised me so far is that it actually did skip pretty good still. But if you tilt it up so that it catches that front edge, then it'll just bang, eat that impact and stay where it lands. So I really look forward to continuing to test this thing. This is a disc that I've wanted to have in the bag for a long time, and since Max hooked it up, it went straight in the bag and it's not going anywhere. I really like that thing. Super fun to throw. Once again, another kind-hearted individual from Instagram hooked me up with this stack of plastic of stuff to just kind of have and to check out. Really wild. I appreciate it very much. This is from William Freeman, so thank you very much, William. He sent me this gold line fuse that he threw in. I'm beyond stoked to have it in my collection. In fact, as I sit here right now, it's going onto my rack, and that one is there and ready for active duty. I've thrown it a couple times. It flies nice. Might, continue testing that as one that can go in my bag as well. but super happy to have a gold line in the collection one way or another. So thank you very much for that, William. And he also sent me some discs that I can use for videos as well, including this RPM Discs Piwaka Waka. Now, I've never tested any RPM plastic before, but you'll see this thing, hopefully you'll see, has a really crazy shimmery metallic kind of pearly sparkly vibe to it. Gorgeous plastic, and it feels really, really nice. Very grippy, nice comfortable feel to it, kind of like a softer kind of opto type vibe to this plastic. And this disc is actually quite similar to my beloved Fuse. Only thrown this one a couple times. I don't know if I have any footage for you yet, but quite understable. But you can flip it up and it floats for a really long time. It's like a faster kind of Fuse, basically, is how it was flying for me. It doesn't have the same kind of slow flight to it. It seems to punch through the air a little bit faster, but similar amount of glide to it as well. This is one that I'm definitely looking forward to continuing to test, and I have actually reached out to RPM Discs to see if maybe I could open up a dialogue with them to hook me up with more plastic to try, including maybe a couple more of these Piwakas, so that we can test maybe a couple different plastics, etc. Get a full review out for you guys. So that one's fun. I'll be interested to test that one. And also got in some Prodigy plastic for the first time in quite a while. I got the 350G A2, and I have an A3 in 400 plastic. These, I jumped at the chance to get these because I'm trying to work on an overstable approach disc video for you guys to kind of show you all of the different overstable approach discs that I have tested and reviewed over the years, because there's so many great ones out there, and it's such a crucial disc for anyone in any bag, for any player, in my opinion. So I wanted to have some other options to check out. So it actually worked out amazing that William had these available. Got the A3 and the A2. This one, quite beefy, the A2 350G. A little bit of give under the thumb, but not much flexibility to the overall disc. It's got some wear on it already, but it's still quite beefy for sure. So I like this thing so far, based on my initial testing, is just an overstable approach disc. Aim it out to the right, rip it, you know what it's going to do. And then the A3, now this is interesting because I tested and reviewed an A3 a million years ago now. I don't even know how long ago that was. It was before I was doing filming. It was before I met Andy and James and all those guys. So it's probably a pretty terrible review, but you'll at least get a look at the design of it, which kind of looks like a flattened gator. Now I have a Champ Gator right here, review coming very soon on the Champ Gator, and you can see what I mean. It's basically like a thinner, streamlined version of a gator that feels just feels amazing. Like I really love the feel of this thing. This is a flat 400 plastic A3, which is apparently what everybody wants. So I'm happy to have it for myself. Yeah, 174. Strange rim shape on this thing, but it feels very nice backhand, and it feels incredible forehand. I love the way this thing feels in my forehand grip. Like, my other fingers kind of rest on that part of the rim, and I've had some very successful forehand throws with this thing out there during my initial testing, to the point where this one might go in the bag as well, to kind of supplement my culverin for backhands, and this and that same range and speed for forehand shots. Definitely less overstable than my Justices. Something I can throw nice and straight, but still pop it out there, and it holds really nice with a little fade at the end. So that's the A3. And that is this pile of plastic to show off to you guys. So thank you once again to everybody who hooks me up with plastic from so many different angles. I'm very blessed. I'm very appreciative of it, for sure. So much great plastic, so many things in the works that I want to try to make for you guys this summer and beyond. So please hit that subscribe button to stay tuned if you like the videos. Thank you once again to everybody who supports me: Dynamic Discs, EV7, friends on Instagram, viewers, old friends of the channel, everybody that helps me. I really appreciate you all. Check me out on Patreon. Also, if you have any plastic that you're in the market for, or bags, or any of that other gear, check out Infinite Discs. Use my code to save yourself some money, and you can easily help support the channel financially as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll check you later. Cheers.